Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. And my name is Inda. I am the one behind the Rookie Journal, and in this channel I talk and share a lot about junk journaling, memory keeping, penpaling, and all the crafty stuff that I've been into. So if that's something that you are interested in, make sure to subscribe. And for today, as promised from the previous video, I will talk about the advanced guide to penpaling. So if you haven't watched the previous video, which is the beginner's guide to penpaling, make sure to watch that first or watch it after this video. But essentially, in the beginner's guide to penpaling, I talk more about the surface level, about how to find penpal and how to make first letter and all that kind of stuff. But for this video, we're going beyond first letter. This is great for you guys who've been penpaling for a while. Okay, enough with the rambling. Before we get started, as always, I want to put a disclaimer that this is based on my experience and my experience only. And throughout the video, I will answer some questions from you guys as well. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, for the first topic that I want to talk about is about how to spice up your penpal letters. So maybe you have exchanged a few with your penpals and you want to, like spice it up and then just want to do some extra with your penpal letters, but you don't know how. So let me share some tips. First thing is you can include games in your penpal letters, just as simple as like this or that, or like would you rather. This way you can connect more with your penpals. Maybe you have similarity in some opinions, so that can be your next topic and then the things that you are connected with. The second thing, you can spice up your letter by exchanging language. So if your penpal is from overseas and speak a different language than you, so you can add a little vocabulary and also phrases to them, and you can ask back as well, so you will get new vocabulary from different language. The next tips how to spice up your penpal letters is through mail art. So hang on, through mail art, this is the mail that I made together with you guys on the previous video. Some decorated letters with stickers and also the things that you have at home. So decorating your envelopes and letters with washi tape, stamp, stickers and layers of paper can really elevate your mail. You can even try calligraphy for the name on the envelope. I think it makes it feel so much more special. So just try it, just use what you have at home, and it can be in so many ways. Like you can pick a theme or a color palette and just use that prompt to make your mail art. I also have a question here about how I layers my envelope, like my decoration. I think I need a whole separate video for this topic and to show you if I have some formula for that. So maybe I will make that kind of video. So stay tuned and let me know if you are interested as well. So yeah, this mail art definitely can spice up your penpaling game, whether it is for you and also for your penpal, because making this is very therapeutic and fun because you use your creative brain to make such a beautiful and thoughtful envelope decoration. Also, a reminder that you don't need to have fancy stationery and a lot of budget to decorate your mail. If you watch my beginner's guide video, I showed you how I make my mail art with just junk that I have at home. So you definitely can just use your creativity and just try it and just use things that you have at home first. And yeah, you might be surprised with how a junk can turn out to be. Alright, so the next tips on how to spice up your pen pal letters is to have themed challenge. In your letter, you can ask your pen pal if they want to do it. So basically it is a challenge to make a certain theme in your pen pal mail. So for example, I do have one pen pal that I am doing this challenge with. In my letter, I will challenge her to make, for example, an autumnal theme letter for her reply. So after she made the autumnal theme letter, in her letter she will challenge me for another theme. So maybe pink theme or blue theme, so anything you can challenge them. And it's not always something that has a specific theme like autumnal or color code. You can also challenge them like, okay, the next letter, the challenge is to make envelope decoration with only junk. That can be so fun. I think this is one of the ways that I really like to spice up my pen pal letter, because sometimes when I make a letter for my pen pal, sometimes I overthink about what theme that I should make for her. So yeah, this kind of challenge is really fun and also helpful for me. It's really fun and creative twist like this. I think something that keeps both of us inspired, and it makes me to look forward to her letter. Alright, so the next tips on how to spice up your pen pal letters is to put some goodies. Again, disclaimer, goodies is not mandatory at all in pen pal letters, but if you want to spice up and feel a bit more extra, you definitely can put goodies inside your letter. Everyone loves happy mail extras, and goodies doesn't have to be big. You can send cute stickers, paper scraps, washi samples, memo sheets, and I actually have videos about pen pal goodies ideas in my channel, so I will link those videos in my description box. There are 2 videos so far, and each video I think has 10 or more ideas, so definitely check that out to get inspiration about what goodies that can you include in your pen pal letters. And the next idea is, I think, one of my favorite that I like to include in my pen pal letter, and if you've been following me for a bit, you might know already. It is a flip book. If you really want to go the extra mile, try making a flip book. It's a creative way to present your letter and tuck in goodies in the pockets or in the flaps. It's very interactive, and I like to make it interactive because it is so fun to just flip and flap things around. And yeah, I have heaps of flipbook tutorials, and yeah, this is one of the examples, and I made this one out of a tea packaging actually. And again, as you can see, you don't need fancy things to make something like this, and I do have a tutorial for you to make this kind of flip book with tea packaging, and I also have a lot more flipbook tutorials in my channel. I even have a playlist about it, so if you're looking to create some flipbook and want to get creative, definitely check that playlist. I have heaps and heaps of tutorial in that. And then the next idea, you can share about the things that you are very interested in at the moment. You can share playlists, you can share your movie recommendation, you can share book review. I feel like sharing a little bit about the things that you are very interested to in like more details, like a playlist and book review. I think it's kind of like you are inviting them to your world. Then you can also send a recipe. I think that's really special because food is kind of like a universal language, and you can share your cultural food or a tradition in your home, and you can put extra little doodles on how it looks like or a photo, so that's really fun. And then you can also share something about your culture or the place that you live. So you can send some ephemeris, like a real life ephemeris, like a travel brochure or a business card from the small business that you like in your town or in your city, and even you can send a page of a magazine or a newspaper in your city. I think little things like this really makes the experience really wholesome, because I really love receiving brochure from my pen pals. So some of my pen pals send to me a brochure from where they live, and I really love it. It feels like I know what it is like over there, even we are very far away from each other. And I like to see the travel brochure because I can see like the subway and the train maps, and yeah, I love receiving maps as well. So yeah, I think like real life ephemeris really makes me able to experience their world. So yeah, there are so many things that we can do in spicing up our pen pal letters. So let me know in the comments about how do you like to spice up or jazzing up your pen pal letters. And let me know as well if there's something new from my list that you would like to try. Alright, so next up, let's talk a little bit about behind the scene. And I got these questions quite a lot. And also this is super important to talk about. So it is about how to stay organized, because let's be real, if you've been pen paling for a while and you have a few pen pals or many pen pals, you will have tons of letters and also goodies inside them. And how do I stay organized? So let's talk about it. Alright, so this side of my craft room is backlight, so it doesn't look good on camera, but I just want to show you some organization that I have. And just a disclaimer, I'm not sure if this is the best system, but this is what works for me at the moment. And I just want to show you how I do this organization and keeping things organized thing. So I have this letter organizer. I'm not sure what this is called. So there are 3 compartments, and on the top section is for the new letters that I haven't replied to yet. So when a happy mail arrives, when a pen pal letter arrives, it goes straight there. And the middle section here is for the letters that I have replied to, but I haven't sorted the goodies that came with them. Most of my pen pals send little gifts like stickers, paper, ephemera, so I keep those here and until I move them into my stationery cabinet with their own category, like where the stickers goes to, where the paper bits goes to. So yeah, a transit moment here. And for the bottom compartment is the same as well actually. So I have 2 compartments where I put the letters that I have replied but I haven't sorted out the goodies. And also I put goodies that are big that I don't know yet where to put them, and at the same time I don't want to use them yet, if that makes sense. So they are still here, but I don't know if you are aware, but I share a little bit about my new art studio or craft room. So I will move there, so I will just show you a little bit. So that's gonna be my art studio, like a dedicated craft room and art studio. So we built a little house in the back of our land. So this main building that I am standing now is main building separated with that building. So that is a small building, and on the downstairs I have, I don't know if you can see that, but I have a guest room and I have a storage room, and then there's stairs there, and then go straight to my art studio. Right now I'm working on the interior design, and all of the furniture will be custom made. So right now I am waiting for the production stage, and hopefully in about 3 weeks they will be all ready and I can move there. So when I move there, I will have a dedicated place to hopefully each of the category, because I custom made all of the furnitures and also the organization system over there. So now you might be wondering, once the goodies sorted out, where do the letters go? Okay, I'll show you. Hello, hello. So I have this big box to store my letters, and again, I'm not sure if this is the best system. So that's how much I accumulated letters from 3 years of pen paling. I don't think it's that much because most of my pen pals are from overseas, so I don't get letters as often as other people might get. So yeah, this big box contains of all of the letters from my pen pals and also the letters that you guys send to my PO box. And inside the box, I organize it based on the sender, based on pen pals. So I just stack them together and then bundle it with a string or a ribbon. So this is from one pen pal, this is from another pen pal. I got this idea from my pen pal Lizzie. I saw her one time, she did it like this, and I thought that's a great idea because before that I only put them here without categorizing them based on something, like based on the sender or anything. But yeah, this is how I do it. I also hang some of the pen pal letters throughout my craft room, so you see a couple over there, and I also put some over here. I also really love postage stamps. Sometimes I also peel off the postage stamps from the envelope and put it in my journal, especially the ones that are very pretty, very unique and from overseas. I've been thinking to have like a specific journal to keep the postage stamps all in one place, like having a collection book, but at the same time I just love to look at it with postage stamps. So yeah, that's my dilemma, and let me know in the comments what would you think and what would you do. Do you just keep it on the envelope or you peel it off and put it somewhere? Alright, while we are still in the topic of staying organized, I also want to share a tips on how I track my pen pal letters. So I make my own tracker inside my Hobonichi. It is a super simple pen pal tracker in the notes section in my Hobonichi planner. So how I set it up is super simple. As you can see, the first column I have my pen pal's name, and on the second row I have the int, meaning that the date when I received the letter from my pen pal, and then the next one I have out, which is the date when I sent out my mail. This way I can easily see which letters still need a response and in what order. So I feel like this is super handy for me when I have a bunch of pen pals and I want to stay on top of things. Another useful tips that I want to share is I also write down each of my pen pals addresses in my Hobonichi, so I don't have to search for it every time. So everything just in one place. And then on the back pages here I keep a notes about postage stamp price, so I know exactly how much a letter costs to mail it to different countries, and also based on the weight. So if you're new to this information, I have explained all about it in my beginner's guide to pen paling video, so you can see over there. So that's how I currently organize my pen paling life. It's not perfect, but that's what I have at the moment. Or please share how you stay organized and store your pen pal letters. So definitely drop your comments in the comment section below. I would love to improve my system. Okay, next up I have this question. It is about how to keep the cost of your pen pals low. So first thing first, it can depend on the country that you live in. I know some countries have price increase in their cost of stamps, but I have 2 tips to help save on postage stamps cost, money, like general money. So the first thing is I like to batch my post office trips, so I don't go to post office or send out my mail every time I finish a letter. So I usually just wait until I have 2 or 3 letters done. So usually I send a letter once in 2 weeks, or sometimes even once in 3 weeks. This way, it is not only keeping me stay organized in sending letters, it is also saves some transportation costs, especially if your post office is far from your home or your post box is far away. The second tip is to keep your mail flat. Flat mail usually means lighter mail, and lighter mail usually leads to lower postage costs. You can still be very creative in making your mail flat. You can still include flat goodies as well, like washi samples, stickers. So yeah, just avoid bulky items or thick packaging when you're trying to do flat mail. Also, I have heaps of ideas on how to make flat mails in my YouTube channel. I will also link that video and playlist so you can get tons of inspiration on how to make flat mail and also save some money. Also, I would also like to share my experience pen paling from Indonesia, from where I live. And I think this is super important for you guys as well who also not live in Indonesia, and also for fellow Indonesian friends there. So I would like to mention about my experience about paying customs tax, and also about letters opened by the customs. Alright, let's talk about the paying the customs fee first. So sometimes when I receive a letter, I need to pay tax. I know it sounds so stupid, but it is what it is. It is the regulation here. Not all the time and not all letters, just some letters I need to pay. After 3 years of doing this, I think I can kind of categorize what kind of letters that I need to pay and what kind of letters that I don't need to pay. So the first thing is, if the letter is sent without postage stamps, meaning that with tracking numbers or registered letter, 100% I need to pay. I know it sounds stupid because you already paid the shipping fee, which is more expensive than using postage stamps, but it is what it is. I need to pay the import customs. So as much as I appreciate you guys sending me letters with registered and then tracking number, but I actually need to pay to declare it and then get it. And then the second thing is, if it's not in a form of envelope, so even if you put your letters in a very thin box, like small box, I need to pay. So yeah, if it's not in an envelope shape, I need to pay customs fee. The third category is not always the case, but sometimes it can be, which is a bulky envelope. So if the envelope is super thick, they usually got into a random check by the customs officer, and then they will charge me for import tax. But this is not always the case, because I have one pen pal who likes to send me thick envelope, and his letter never got inspected, and I never need to pay anything for his letters. So yeah, the third category is kind of hit or miss. And I actually asked about this to the customs departments. Like, I called their call center and asked about this thing, and then with tracking number, like registered number, it is what it is, like it is the regulation, I need to pay. But with the letter with postage stamps, they told me it is just basically on luck, I would say, because they have this random check of envelope and things, and then again, if they are bulky, it is usually can get into the inspection or this random check. So that's the answers that I got from them. So yeah, I would really appreciate just flat mail with postage stamps, although I didn't pay a lot for each of the letter, but if there are many letters like that, it can add up so much. And then the next issue is about sometimes I receive a letter that has opened by the customs, and most of the letters are the letters that is not with postage stamps and the letters that is very bulky. So usually those two categories, but again, not always, but just sometimes. So yeah, that's just my experience. Alright, so the last couple of topics that I want to share are the most asked questions, I would say. So let's talk about the first one. The first one is about how to stay motivated in penpaling. I think moreover it can lead to burnout. So how to stay motivated and how to avoid burnout. Let's talk about that. So yeah, even in something cozy and beautiful hobby like penpaling, burnout can still happen. And I say that from an experience because surprise, surprise, I've been there as well. So let's break it down. So I think burnout can happen when first, too many commitment at once. 2, the pressure of creating the perfect and aesthetic mail. 3, the guilt of delaying replies. 4 is comparing myself to others. And the last one is maybe just a creative block or lack of inspiration. So let me share with you the things that have helped me finding the joy again, and then that balancing this penpaling hobby so I don't get burnt out. So the first thing is set boundaries. Ask yourself honestly, how many penpals can I realistically have? Because managing this, like having too many penpals, can be stressful. Set boundaries, and it is okay to say no and to decline someone who asks you to be their penpals. The second thing is to find your rhythm. So speaking from my experience, I don't work 9 to 5 jobs, so I do have the freedom in my time, but that also means I need to be intentional in balancing my time. I could get too carried away of doing just one thing and then can get burnt out after that. And what I do about specifically penpaling is I set times. So my schedule usually on weekdays, during the day I do my work projects like making the custom orders, designing stickers or other projects that I have in mind, creating content. So that's what I do during weekdays, during the day. And then in the evening I keep things flexible. If I have some downtime and my husband is busy, that's when I might make a penpal letter, meaning that I can write the letter or prepping the envelope decorations. Because obviously in the evening my husband came home after work, so I want to spend time with him. But yeah, if we have some downtime and he's busy that he needs to do some extra work, then I might do the penpal letter. And on the weekends, that's when I have all the freedom to do whatever I want. So, but not the whole weekend, because I prioritize family first. So I prioritize spending time with my husband and my family. So if I have some spare time after that, then I do penpaling. So yeah, that's a time when I do penpal letters. So with a schedule like that, you kind of get an idea that I don't do penpal letters every day, and this way it actually makes me miss the penpaling activity. So when I do the penpaling, when I write the letter, I feel the joy again. I feel the sparks. It comes back because oh, it's been a while I haven't write a letter. So I think set a rhythm for yourself is really good to avoid burnout and to get the sparks back, because you don't do it all the time. Okay, so the third one is about the pressure of needing to make a fantastic and masterpiece mail. So I used to feel like every letter needs to be a masterpiece, like super decorated, but honestly that kind of pressure is very exhausting. And now I always remind myself that not every letter has to be perfect. And if anything, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be genuine and feeling like yourself. You don't have to reply with the exact same length your pen pal wrote as well, and your envelope doesn't have to be, like a Pinterest board all the time. I need to remind myself, and I want to remind you as well, that pen paling is all about connection, not performance. So yeah, let's get that pressure off from our shoulder and just be our authentic self. The next one is to avoid comparison. It's so easy to compare ourselves and feel like your mail isn't cute enough or creative enough. But here's the truth. Sometimes people don't really care about that, especially when you know the idea that pen paling is about connection. So yeah, again, just what I said earlier, just be your authentic self. It's a hobby, and let it be like fun and joyful to you. Another way to stay motivated is simply by looking for inspiration. Take the inspiration, not the pressure. There are so many beautiful pen paling accounts on Instagram where people share their mail creation and ideas, including Rookie Journal as well. On Instagram, I share a lot of my mail art over there, so you can have a look and you can get some inspiration from there. It is about discovering a new thing, discovering new layout, new color palettes, or themes that sparks joy to you. And another thing is you can also join a mail challenge. So usually in penpal mail challenge there will be prompts that you can follow. So the purpose is to give you guide and inspiration on how to make mail art. And finally, it is okay to step back. If you're feeling like pen paling has been a burden to you, that's okay. Burnout is real. If none of these tips helping you, then give yourself a permission to take a break. Just let your pen pals know that you need some time off. I'm sure they will understand. Okay, now let's talk about the most asked question, and it's all about how to break up with your pen pal. It is a sensitive and tough topic, but I think it is needed to be discussed about because this could happen. Also, I got some feedback from other people that comment on my YouTube post and also on my Instagram post, so let's talk about it. Truth is, not every pen pal connection turns into a lifelong friendship, and that's totally okay because you really cannot know the dynamic of your correspondence like when you started to get to know them, maybe through Instagram or through your first letters. Sometimes the connection just doesn't click over time, and it could be for many reasons. For example, you don't share the same interest, the effort feels like one-sided, the conversation feels like only surface level or forced, or maybe your energy and priorities just shifted because life happens. So if you find yourself constantly putting off that letter and delaying that reply, or even you feel stressed even just seeing the envelope, or you feel like you're not being your true self when you are communicating with this pen pal, then those could be the signs that maybe it is time to move on. So now, how to end or how to break up with your pen pal respectfully. What I have found helpful is that you don't need to go in full details about it, especially if it can hurt your pen pal. That's the last thing that I want my pen pal to feel. You know, something like, I'm so sorry, life is busy, I want to downsize my pen pals, life happens, and I've decided to step back from pen paling. That alone is enough. I feel like the goal is to give a gentle closure, not drama, because in most cases it's just a natural disconnection. You know what I mean? It's just a natural thing, or that over the time it just happened that you don't click with them. So yeah, if the connection has faded, you can still definitely write the last letter. I think ghosting is the last resort, and also if something really bad happens, which I will talk about it after this, but definitely give them one final letter, thank them for the time that you have guys shared together, and if it feels right, you can always say that you can reconnect again in the future. Maybe even through other platforms like Instagram. Connect with people doesn't need to be in a penpal form, as you might know already. So yeah, now in some rare cases, if a penpal has been rude to you or say something offensive about you or your culture, or just really negative, I personally choose to not reply at all. I personally feel that I find it more peaceful to just let it go rather than replying it with anger and criticism, because I feel like their words said enough already about them, so it's okay to let it go. So yeah, that's what I think, and I think that not pen pals are for forever. Some people are meant to be short chapters and some for forever, and that's okay, that's just life. Ending a pen pal relationship doesn't mean that you are a bad person. I think it just means that you are being respectful to both of your times and energy. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts, and I really hope these are very helpful. And before I wrap up this video, I want to answer some questions that I think I haven't answered throughout the video, and I also have a little surprise at the end of the video, so stay tuned. So let's dive into the questions very quickly first. So there's this question: what do you do when a pen pal stops writing? So I have three scenarios. So the first thing is, if I feel like I am close to this pen pal, of course I will reach out to this person, just checking in if she is okay. I would love to offer my help if there's anything that I can help with. And the second thing that I would do is, if I feel like the connection between me and this pen pal is just on a surface level, or if I feel like we have some kind of disconnection a little bit, then maybe she doesn't want to be my pen pal anymore and don't know what to say, and I just don't want to give another pressure to this person about it. So, and the third scenario is maybe my letter lost, and that could happen. So usually I check with them first and ask if my letters arrives in their hands, and if they have confirmed that they have received my letter and then the reply doesn't come, then I will refer back to the scenario number 1 and 2. So I noticed that there's so many people joining the surprise mail gift on the beginner's guide to pen paling video, and I would like to host another one here. And this time I would like to send to 3 people, and instead of a happy mail, I want to send postcards. They are about, this too has like this botanical illustration about Indonesia's special fruits, and this one is flower. So I will send to 3 people. If you want to get this surprise postcard, I will put every detail on the description box. And if you also joined the giveaway on the previous video, you can join this one as well. So just make sure you do all of the steps on my description box. And yeah, I will send these 3 postcards to 3 of you. I'm so excited. So I think that's all that I want to share in this video. I really hope it is helpful. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to me if you haven't already. That means a lot to me. And click notification bell as well, so you will get notification from me and not miss out any of my future videos. So thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope you're all doing amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!